Hey, what's up with it, guys? All right, we're gonna tank. I'm trying to test out some new stuff and see how the audio quality is on this. I've been messing with Streamlabs a little bit. So, this is kind of a trial stream, if you will. It's gonna be kind of quick. We'll just do this this Uber's run. I will tell you guys, this new weapon feels really, really good. I really like this fist weapon a lot. I think I might respec a couple talents too. I need to kind of mess with it a little bit. I actually hopped on Caperfin's stream earlier. For those of you guys that don't know, Caperfin is like the main guy that kind of initially started posting a bunch of stuff over the last, I don't know, year or two regarding like Shaman tanking. And so I hopped on his stream and was kind of going back and forth with him for a little while. So I think I've tested out this build a good amount. I think I'm going to make a couple tweaks to it and kind of see how I like it. This guy's cheating, dude. He's taunting off me. We'll drink here, we'll drink. I don't know why he's chasing that guy. He's gonna come back. Let's turn on damage meters. It's kind of annoying. Damage meters always turns off. Like every time I do BGs or whatever, it like forces you to disable them. We'll put it up there on the left so you guys can see threat meters and stuff as well. I had to like totally redo the UI and stuff too on this. I had to like re-upload the, not upload, that's not the right word, like re-add my webcam. I had to like mess with a bunch of audio stuff, so let me know if anything sounds like weird or out of whack, guys, because that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out here. Cheater, dude. Oh, she's gonna pull back to me anyway. Look at that threat. Look at that threat. Cheater again, dude. The taunts, dude. He's just taunting. You can see how high we're ahead. They're like, I literally just one shock and just autos. Pull this guy. But I think I might go a build, like, I don't know if I'd go all the way down to Elemental Fury. I don't know if I'd go all the way down to Elemental Fury or not. I'm not sure yet. Jesus, dude, what is that? It's like too gnarly for me. Oh, great. Someone pulled a bunch of dragons. Oh, no. That was a good taunt by the bear. Good taunt by the bear. But you guys can see down here, if you guys look at the debuffs, you can see when people are taunting off and stuff. But the threats up there on the top right, our threat's pretty solid and pretty consistent, honestly, with this setup. So I was thinking, and I kind of mentioned in my that guide that I just put out, talking about going into Nature's Guidance, and I went on Caperfin's channel and was talking to him, and he made a good point. Is he's saying you basically have to put points in these two rows and to get this 3%, whereas like on the elemental tree, all of these are actually valuable talent points, and these are not, basically, as far as tanking is concerned specifically. And that was a really good point that I didn't really think about it like that. So I don't think it actually does make sense to take Nature's Guidance as far as consistency. So we'll have to see. Cozy, what's up, man? How you doing? Rating ZG on my Alliance Warrior, but showing some love. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. It's been a minute since I've seen you in here, I feel like. We're just we're messing with the Shaman Tank Dream, dude. Shaman Tank Dream. we'll see. We're gonna do another alt raid again on Saturday. So I streamed one this Saturday. That was the first time we did it, and we had a ton of ton of pugs. It was like a very, very pug heavy, much more than I thought it was gonna be. Which in turn made it kind of tough because a lot of them were either under geared or under leveled or both, and it made it really hard. Holy shit, that's not good. We have like kind of like 3 tanks though, so we should be okay. I'm trying to grab some of these others. I'm gonna go ahead and potion here. I'm actually gonna drop a Earthbind and just kite for a second. Let some of the DPS finish these guys off. Nice. It's actually pretty OP if we on these ads and stuff like that. If you can get aggro, you can actually just kite with Earthbind really effectively. It's like similar to like Warriors Piercing Howl type situation. I was watching you raid MC tanking. Yeah, so that was that group was like an entire, it was all of our alts. I think we had one main that couldn't make like the normal raid. About 15 of our alts and then a bunch of pugs. Like I was recruiting for like the whole day, basically just spamming a recruit macro. And a lot more of those people were not 60 than I was aware, or like really, really badly geared. And so it made it obviously pretty tough. So going into this week, I think we'll hopefully have more like guildies. And like make it so people are 60. Hopefully some of these like the alts from the guild that came will get 60 by Saturday. So I'm anticipating, long story short, I'm anticipating running another alt run where we're going to be Shaman tanking, Shaman off tanking on Saturday as well. See how that goes. I think so. If I get the fiery, like fire resistance enchant on my helm, I'll be really close to fire resist capped in my FR gear. So it'll be interesting. I got hit by that knockback crap twice last raid, and I don't know if that extra amount, I don't know if that was just really bad odds or if like the extra amount of fire resistance is the difference of that or not. I don't know. It's very experimental given the fact that there's not a lot of content for specific boss fights. This is Shaman tank, but it's been going well, dude. It's a lot of fun. We have I'm grabbing those because there's a level 56 priest in our group. Excited to watch, man. Nice, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really excited to test out more and more stuff with this setup. I feel like as I'm getting every like little bit of upgrade that I'm getting as far as gear goes is really significant. Like this fist weapon feels really, really good as a weapon, and I'm sure if I got any of the weapons out of like BWL or anything like that, it would feel massive as well. That's massive, dude. When we get like a couple crits like that, we get such a massive lead. Like this guy's taunting off us, so it doesn't count, but as far as like threat we're actually generating. This guy's gonna pull. I literally just typed this in chat, dude. Pull your totems. We're fucked. They're gonna pull down around here and we're probably gonna wipe now. Probably have to reset because that stupid shaman didn't fucking pull his totems. I don't know if we can like onk. Can we onk and like hopefully it resets? We have to do it again, dude. Okay, load screen. Well, luckily that didn't take us that long to do that. We'll be able to get back through that pretty quickly. That's just really tilting though. You guys can't see chat because I have my camera over, but I literally typed in chat like 3 times, pull your totems, pull your totems, pull your totems. And he just like didn't know what the hell to do. What guild is he in? Nice, 2 greens so far. Could be some greater Eternals. I think we have to run out. Get her, get her, get her. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Mage almost died right there. We'll res XJ. Get the quest guy. Some of the guys need the quest guy here. How's he stunned? What was that? Is that a frost trap? It looked like I autoed through that. Might be tripping out though. Run. Did you reset it? What server am I on? Nick, I am on Herod. Herod, whatever you want to call it. Herod, Herod Horde side. And with the world star. Our game sound is off. I was like, what sounds kind of weird? That's what it is. Our game sounds low. we all have the world star macro. So that's our guild name for any new people watching. And we have /train, like the train choo-choo train sound. And some of the audio for the train is so funny. You can see that on that bear, like one earth shock and then just autoing holds. I mean, I don't know how this guy doesn't probably have like crazy gear, but I don't know, it's still pretty good, I feel like. The fact that I can basically just do one earth shock and I get like a threat lead off that, and then I can just maintain it. When you're able to do that, it's nice because if you're not casting, you just end up like starting to regenerate your mana like in between the pulls. I'm gonna pull this dragon. How's it going, coach? What's up, Walter? How you doing, man? I play Alley and watch this guy so you know it's good. I feel like there's a lot of horde hate in your soul over there, Cozy. You should get Iron Foe for tanking. Dude, Iron Foe would be cool. So I actually have Flurry Axe, which I think, honestly, as an orc would probably be better than Iron Foe. Like, Iron Foe is more damage. But if I was trying to go with that setup, I feel like Flurry Axe is going to be better with the orc racial. Like, on raid content, assuming, like, raid content. Dungeon content, there's, like, so much... There's so many options of what you can do because... hit cap's basically really easy to accomplish, and I don't know. Like in this, I feel like I literally am just... What the hell just happened? How are they pulling all these guys? I'm not gonna take unnecessary damage. I'll let those guys stay rooted. Just help grab these guys. Ooh. Okay. No, I love Shaman. No, you know what's funny is I actually, if I wasn't playing Horde side, I think I definitely would have a prop pally. Like very, very high chance. I started leveling up prop pally a little bit on Alliance side, but I just prefer Horde side in so many ways. So it's hard for me to like stick with it, you know? I just don't really like the cosmetic aspect of Alliance. Not a big fan of like gnomes. I like night elves and I like dwarfs. I don't like gnomes, I don't like humans. Do you see how fast I attack with this weapon is absolutely insane. I think I said it in the that guide video that I put out, but if I get flurry and I get the weapon proc, I get to a 0.89 weapon attack speed, which is absolutely insane. Just with flurry when it's up, it's 1.14. How is the audio levels? Are like the audio levels cool? Like, does it sound fine? I was saying earlier, I just kind of messed with a bunch of stuff in Streamlabs, so I'm kind of trying to test some stuff out. You want a horde tune too? Just not into leveling another tune. Yeah, I feel you. I feel like there's so many easy ways to level though now. It's like, if you really want to, it's not nearly as daunting of a task as it was, you know, 3 or 4 months ago. Drink up here. Unsubbing, bye, dude. Did I offend you with the gnome and human hate? Mace sword spec is OP. I know, dude, their racials are good. I'm not bagging on their racials. Just cosmetically, I don't like how gnomes are so small where you can't really see their gear that well. And then human is just not that exciting or like interesting to me personally. I do really like Night Elf. Night Elf is one of my favorite models in the game. I like that song. I don't think I'm not here, but yeah, I don't think Elemental Devastation is worth taking. That's one of my conclusions. Let's I'm just gonna throw on some like normal music that is gonna get flagged for copyright anyway. One sec, I don't like this playlist at all. Usually I try and avoid, well listen, let's listen to my Discover Weekly. I usually try and avoid getting like copyright flags if I think I'm gonna leave the VOD up. Just cause I don't know what stuff they're gonna mute and like. Is that good? Is that audio like volume level? Sound good? I need some feedback, guys. I need some feedback. Fuck, hit the wrong button. But I don't think Elemental Devastation is worth taking, and I think you really want to have points in Reverberation for the reduced cooldown on Earth Shock. But yeah, like so on the elemental talents, Elemental Devastation is really cool looking in theory, but even getting 9% melee crit for only 10 seconds only is giving you increased crit on a few attacks. I mean, it's obviously more with how fast this weapon is, so arguably this is like the most valuable weapon to have it on. But my spell crit is so low without world buffs. Like I feel like if I was using world buffs, like if I was doing this as a rating spec and I'm using world buffs, then I feel like it'd probably be worth it. But I feel like even then I'll probably get crit capped, because I feel like I'm already at like 20. I'm at 20%. That's like with no major buffs, so I feel like that proccing and like if you're using like Elixir of Mongoose or like other stuff, you're just gonna be way above crit cap. But so I feel like that's not really worth it. I also don't know that it's really even worth it to go all the way down to Elemental Fury. I feel like it'd be better off to go and get points in like Weapon Mastery or something, and like basically put points into here and stop here. And then put some points down here. I don't know that I want Storm Strike. 300 mana. I don't know that it's worth it. Spirit's tilting me. You can't keep up. You're just gonna taunt on cooldown. You're nowhere close. I don't even see you. Where are you? Oh, you way down here? See ya. Just pulling ahead, dude. It's like a drag race against a moped. It's actually not a bad neck. Do I want that? No. I don't really have an enhanced neck. That's like one of the pieces missing from my enhanced set is my neck piece. It's so funny, dude. I'm not actually trying. He taunts off me and I just am getting aggro right back, like just from autoing with Rockbiter and this weapon. Watch, he'll do it again, I bet you. 3, 2, 1. Is he gonna let me tank it? Okay, okay. Dude, how are people pulling these eggs every time? What are you guys doing? I'm taking a lot of damage. These guys just both enraged, just wailing on me. I have no mana. So I ran ZG. Was it yesterday? And we got these off of a car. So I have these enchanted actually for enhanced DPS, but I might re-enchant them and get agility on them because the agility is better for tanking because of dodge, armor, and crit with the flurry uptime. I also got move speed on those boots, but there's a chance I might put 7 stam on them. How does he have so much aggro on this guy? I might put 7 stam on him. I haven't quite decided yet. I really like the move speed, but 7 stam is a good chunk. And since we're so squishy, like the fact that Urshock has range to it makes it so I feel like the move speed. Oh, I don't want to pull those yet. Since Urshock has range to it, I feel like it makes the move speed not as big of a deal as it might be for some other classes, right? Because I can still generate threat, or if I'm having to chase down a mob or whatever, the range of Earthshock is really what's going to get the aggro back most of the time. I don't know how we get both of those every time. Maybe we have to body pull them. The kite, literally like aggro on all of them. Make sure I'm keeping my front to him so that I dodge. Oh, I'm dead. Oof. So much damage right there. How we keep getting both of those packs, dude? We're getting literally like 12 mobs. Oh, hold up my headphones. What's up, Zach? How you doing? Anyone get knocked off or no? The next big thing I really need to try and get is I need to try and get this character into BWL. Like more. I've gotten this character into BWL a couple times, but I don't have like a group because we're not doing an alt group, and I need to figure out and get like a second, like an alt group to get this character some gear out of there. Maybe if I just body pull these. I think if I body pull it, should be good now. I'm not sure how that other pack keeps pulling though. Maybe there's a pat that I'm not seeing that's like was close behind him and it like chain pulled around the corner. I'll just body pull him this time, that'll be fine. Jesus Christ, dude, I'm like all stuck in the corner. What is that little like Naga thing that keeps popping up? That's some like weird trinket or some shit that I don't know about. Why can't I res him? I don't want to get close to him because they'll put me in combat. I couldn't res him because he's feigned death. I thought he was real dead. Do you guys ever use Discover Weekly on Spotify? That's actually like, so I don't listen to Spotify that much because most of the time I'm in like Discord or I have some like video or article or some other thing up on my other monitor or whatever. But Discover Weekly is like my favorite. Dude, what is that thing? What is this? The little shadowy guy just healing. But I've like started just like the last maybe 6 months or a year or so. I just listen to Discover Weekly basically only. It's really cool. I like it. It's a really interesting way Spotify came up with like customizing your channel, like 30 songs every week that they think you might like, some that you already know. Go ahead and drink here before we pull up to the stairwell. Grab him. Grab him, Druid. Where you got him? Like Eskinder's and Flurry proc right there, so that's like just massive attack speed. Fixate. I was gonna say, how does he have aggro? It's fixate. These guys are kind of tough for us because they have the chromatic guys are all spell resistant, so it's a little harder for us to hold aggro on them if we get like an unlucky resist at the beginning of the pull. Why do people pull these in between? Is this like a thing worries you to build rage? Is that why he's doing that? Look at that little guy. What's up, little guy? Little panda guy. Can you get locked in there? I want to try it. I want those. We look a little ugly with our setup. None of our shit really matches. Someone commented on the video that I should take off the tabard. I'm in combat. Good, good, good. Yeah, more whelps. Let's get them. Get all the whelps. All the whelps, guys. What does it look like without the tabard? Come on, give me a combat. I don't know if that looks better. Some boobs. What's up, bro? Yeah, I don't know how much I like Storm Strike on like this weapon with it being 1.5 speed. I feel like if I got one of the axes from BWL that's the 2.3 speed, I feel like Storm Strike is more justifiable, right? Because it's a slower weapon and that top end is higher. So like that initial burst is going to be a lot higher. Not to mention you could then have 2 subsequent earth shocks hitting, assuming there's no other nature damage, but hitting really hard. Also, it would help when we're DPSing, like if we have like a 2-hand scenario. The attack speed is so fast when that stuff procs that like the animation doesn't even show. Like the white numbers come up, but it doesn't show the actual, like the arm doesn't swing. Hopefully, I need a... What's that ring called at the end that's off track? Is it Painweaver's band? I'd like to get that if I can, because I only have the 2 tarnished elven rings, so having that one other ring would be pretty helpful. That way, if I get other combinations of gear, it allows me to have some options in my ring slot. Or for like PvP and stuff. Oh, we gotta resist off the bat right there. Drop Magma Totem. I have Magma Totem bound to anything. I feel like I should probably find it. How much stuff? Is there a lot of stuff in AQ that's nature resistant, like 100% resistant? Because I know a lot of people thought ZG was going to have a lot of like nature immune mobs, and I haven't found any. Like people were thinking that, like when I did that Wrath versus Starfire comparison, one of the main comments was like, oh yeah, like in ZG stuff's all gonna be like nature immune. And I haven't found a single thing that's nature immune in ZG. Or if it is, like I haven't tried to cast Wrath on it a single time, but I feel like I've spammed Wrath a lot in that dungeon and I haven't found anything consistently resisting spells. So it makes me think like AQ is going to be a similar situation with the exception of maybe a couple bosses. So it makes me hopeful that this is a viable option all the way up through AQ. I feel like Nax is going to be a little tougher, but we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed. What's up, legal? Invite you to Asmon Lair. We're talking about making an alt named Asmon Lair. And just messing with people, be like, all right, charge you 1 gold for an invite. Has he really been playing Classic that much? I feel like I've seen him stream a couple times, but I feel like a couple times I've tuned in and he's playing retail. I used to watch him a good amount, but I haven't watched him that much lately because like he had stopped streaming, and I haven't really gotten back to like looking for his stream specifically. We're holding aggro. This is just, I'm just autoing. I'm not casting any spells at all. You guys can see like my trophy's not showing up anything right there. Try and purge that debuff. You can see we're way ahead here. Like I'm not, I can cast her shotgun shit. I'm not casting anything. Just hold it with autos. That's the plus side of having a really fast weapon, is like the consistency, like the reliability of your... No way, dude. We got both swords in one run. That's insane. That's so funny. That's really sick though. I've never seen that before. We might have to actually pull that shit. With the level 56. I'm just gonna save my mana. He's got aggro right now, so we're fine. I need to figure out if there's an add-on or a way to like easily test like threat per second, where I can test it like with like I feel like finding mobs wouldn't be hard, right? Like I could find like those servant guys in Blasted Lands or whatever. Like there's different mobs I could find, but some way like details, I don't know if details would do like a break. Does it do a breakdown? So I can't click any of that, right? So I can't see like a breakdown of what's causing what threat. Stoked for full buffs going into BWL Thursday. I know, me too. I'm actually really excited. Super hyped for that. I was looking earlier, and Nefarian were the second druid, balanced druid on Herod, parse-wise. Top horde druid on Herod for Nefarian. The only guy above me, his name is Stoyvin, always flasks. So he's got 150 spell power buff on me. That's the only reason that he's ahead of me on that fight. Otherwise, we would be the top balanced druid on Herod. So one of these weeks here, we're going to go in full world buffs. We're going to go flask, full consumes, and we're going to go for #1 parses. But we'll be able to do it here. I'm super hyped. The fact that we're switching our schedule, we can do BWO with world buffs, means we can actually get some good parses, especially plus with Bloodvine set as well. That's going to be so huge. Gouged. Yeah, there's a threat on add-on for tanks. Do you know what it's called, Nemo? Like, this is threat. This is a threat meter right here. I don't need like a meter. I want to be able to test different stuff and see like threat per second wise how stuff is performing. Like a more detailed version. We gotta pull this shit. I unbound my marks. So one trick on this is because Earthshock is ranged, you want to do what you can to get the cast off right away as they're running to you, even if you're pulling back, so that while they're running you have the downtime already starting, so you can basically get a second Earthshock off on either the same target or an adjacent target like right away. It makes threat really easy on multiple mobs if you're pulling back and LOSing. Should I turn off the floating combat text where it shows like the red numbers of like damage I'm taking? Is that annoying to see that? Because it shows down here too in the middle of my unit frame. Did the priest make it? Yeah. I feel like it would be cleaner if I disabled that. Let's see what it looks like. I'm trying to think of where it is. Combat. Put fire resist totem right here. Is he stunned? What the fuck is he? Oh, he's stuck on the thing. What the fuck is he doing? So So I grounded totem that fireball. We're gonna get aggro back. True taunted. We'll get aggro back, I think, here again. Is he keeping it? Frost resist gear? I don't think we need that though. Oh. I'm really fucking hungry. But we'll see. We're 22nd. I don't know if someone in the last like 24 hours beat the parse at all, but we were 22nd in the world on Neff this last week. And I had Ani buff and ZG. Those were the only two buffs that I had. We didn't have DM buffs. I didn't have Songflower or anything like that. So I think next week going into it with world buffs, I'm going to be more strategic, right? So Razor Gore's parse is only off of the damage done to Razor Gore after all the ad phase. So I'm going to be a little more conservative with my mana because I'm usually like pumping pretty hard on the ads, and then by the time we get to Razor Gore, I'm like pretty low on mana. Also, my hope is to be able to get Bloodvine before raid. Don't shoot him, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him, don't shoot him. God damn it. Okay, I'll let him tank X. But that's my goal. So my hope is, I'm assuming you guys have seen the Balanced Druid. It's not really specific to Balanced Druid, but the enchant, ZG enchant shit where like you can get the mage enchant on other items. Have you guys seen that with the XN from Apes? Was doing it on stream. So he's a warlock. He got the Bloodvine goggles and the Bloodvine legs, both with the mage enchant on him. So he has an additional 18 spell power and 1% hit on each of those items. So if you think about it mathematically, it'd be like getting a free Neltharian's tier on top of all your other gear with those enchants, with classes that can't use it, right? Like it's absolutely insane. If we were able to get that, it's like an absolutely massive power spike for us because it allows us to get hit cap way easier, as well as give us more damage, 10 more spell damage on each piece than what we have. Let's do this. Sheep, moon. Of course, dude. Literally 2 resists on the chain lightning. Stunned. Go ahead and pot there. This is a pretty big pull. We don't have that much CC. The shield wall, I'm waiting for it to run out before I shock. Why all of a sudden do you think Elemental Fury is not worth? So Elemental Fury is really, really good. It's not that it's not worth, it's just kind of like a change in playstyle a little bit. So if you think about it, elemental, like if I had the 5 set of tier 2 where you get a bonus 3% chance to spell crit or to nature spell crits, which would be earth shock, and then if you have the shoulders are another 1%. So those pieces missing out of like my gear setup is 4% spell crit that I'm missing. Not to mention your chance of spells like in a raid environment of the spells missing is 16%, right? So you're just banking a lot on RNG. If you're world buffed, it's worth it because your crit chance is so high that it's going to proc a lot and you actually get a lot of value from it. But if you're not world buff, I don't know that you have enough crit, with the exception being if you had 5 piece of tier 2. Then I think it would probably be more worth it. But you basically are trading out, because like even if say Earthshock crits right now for 1100, if I don't have this, it's going to crit for like 900 or 800 or something. It's still really significant. Whereas if I have this and I have bonus increased damage, I went back through my logs, and if you look, like that fight I think was a little bit of an exception probably, but on the raid stuff, the let's mark these real quick. On the raid stuff, it looked like my melee hits were doing like 60% of my damage done. And I don't know how much of that would be the case if that wasn't my first time tanking MC. Like, I don't know if that was part like on my error or like not really knowing how to tank some of it or whatever. But assuming that's the case, we really should be doing what we can to like increase our melee damage rather than banking only on like shock damage. That was my thought process with it. We're still kind of like testing it out though, you know, so it's like who really knows what's going to be best or not. There's a lot of theories, a lot of information, but you know, some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't. So we're having to kind of do trial and error and kind of figure it out ourselves. Glad to see another Shaman tank. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man? Yeah, we're on Herod. But it's, I mean, it's hard to say too, right? Because like the variance would be higher if we don't have Elemental Fury. Here, let's redrop totems first. The variance is going to be even higher as far as more melee damage over. Oh, it's assassin. Like, how are we in the combat? And the other thing is, I don't know that elemental, so like the best talent to get down to Elemental Fury is Elemental Devastation, and I don't find this super valuable. It's like so much RNG, and like the fact that a lot of the shocks you're casting from range, potentially on a pull or whatever, like that time that you're not, just because you cast shock and it crits doesn't mean you're physically attacking the target with your weapon. And so I don't know how consistent the value is from that to where like that's really worth, I don't know, like getting or like aiming for in a sense. Like I think it might be better just to get the points in the improved like physical damage by weapons. I think might just be more consistent, reliable threat and DPS and everything. I think it would increase our damage when we're like DPSing as enhance, and I feel like it'd be more reliable as far as like a threat per second output, especially because of playing this kind of like orc setup where we ideally want to have an axe and like bank on the orc racial axe weapon skill component. I feel like the physical damage by weapon dealt increased by 10% would be really significant overall, but who knows? I'll have to play with it and see. If melee is so important, why aren't you stacking agility and strength more? Mostly just itemization, honestly. And you kind of would want to, the thing that is really beneficial about this setup is I have a shitload of mana. So I don't ever run out of mana on fights, or like very, very rarely. Like in dungeons, like this type of stuff, mana is not an issue. I don't have to pot, I don't run out of mana. I can basically juggle my threat with melees and then if I'm a little more, you know, spendy with my mana, it's not so bad. The other thing is you end up having to sacrifice a lot of durability. So like, for example, these the Earth Fury shoulders are 17 stam. My Black Dragon Scale have 9. So it's like, it's kind of like that across the board. Like every piece I would have to sub in, with the exception of the ones that I have on. I have to like take a really big hit, with the exception of like, I could throw in Crown of Destruction. There's nothing wrong here. This is my default. When I click my tank gear, this equips. Why would he do that, dude? Why? Oh, did I just hit the sheep? This is chaotic as fuck. What the hell? I don't know why you pulled that whole pack with no marks. That was so dumb. Oh my goodness. I'm amazed we're gonna survive this. I have a potion here if I need it. I'll go and pop it. Just to be safe. Or like you said, you could go into the resto and get the hit. I mean, that's definitely an option. So I don't know how much I like went into that, but I was talking to Caperfin about it, and he's basically saying you're spending 10 points here, which give us nothing as far as threat or anything, right? To get down to here. This is okay. Totemic Focus is decent, but like for me right now, the mana isn't really like the issue. That's not the problem I'm having at all. So, and then here, however you spend these 10 points, you're using a lot. Like they're very, very, very valuable. And so you have to add up this damage and this bonus and what you get on this, like reverberation, clear casting, and then run that against 3% hit. It's hard to justify. And that made more sense, honestly. That kind of, I do agree with that math a little bit. But I do think, so like in thinking through this more and more, I think what I would change, I basically would get 2 more points in here. I would not get these points, and I would mess with my points here on the bottom portion of the tree there. That is what I think I would kind of change. I'm still I need to kind of play with the talent calculator a little bit and see exactly how I'd want to change that. But I'll drop an Earthbind here just to buy us some time. Run, run, run. I basically am just trying to pick. Holy shit, I got chunked right there. I should throw on one of these Ford elixirs. We got them, they're cheap. I keep forgetting, dude, I have stam food too. It's a significant amount, it's like extra. Few hundred health. Makes a difference. Come on, guy. Got the resist there. Should be fine though. Clear casting, nice big crit. So I was talking with Caperfin about like mitigation, right? So I don't really know. I need to look on the, there's I guess a Shaman Tank Discord I need to kind of like look into a little more. But it's really, so I'm trying to basically weigh the difference between like straight up armor value and stuff like dodge or parry and stuff like that, right? So what I was doing was, say you take off 300 armor worth of items in this, and that changes your damage reduction by 1%. I was then equating that to 1% of dodge, right? Like 1% mitigation and 1%. It's obviously different types of mitigation, but armor has diminishing returns. And I don't know what the breaking points are, because the argument is like, well, priest crit heal gives you the armor bonus and all that type of stuff, but you also get diminishing returns from armor. And I know the diminishing returns actually start pretty early on. Like you don't have to get that high to armor to get diminishing returns. These guys are like all spell immune. So this is kind of a brutal pull for us. So usually what I do here is I lightning bolt and then I downrank earth shot, because the chance it gets resisted is pretty high. I'm gonna sit here. I'm just keep downranking. We want to get threat, but I don't want to use a ton of mana on this. We're like kind of off tanking. Got a clear casting there, so I'll go ahead and max rank, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Damn it. Clear casting again. Great. And then here, ideally, let me tank. You want the bear to tank, and then when he gets conflagged, you'll be second on threat. Oops. Whoa, it shows me second on threat. What the fuck? And so now, like, the Druid can come back and he can taunt if I get conflagged. Like, he should taunt right here. Nice, you got him. I don't know if I can catch back up, but we can see. Can heal ourselves though. He's getting chunked so hard. No more mana. It's weird. It shows me above abandon on threat, but I don't know if it like conflag wipes the aggro table or what. Can help heal. Yes! Cross your fingers. It's the only thing we need from here. Why are we still in combat? Hey, let's go. We got it. World Star, baby. That's the only thing I was like needing out of this dungeon. Where did he die, dude? He died away. Did you die in the other room? Did you die in the other room? Really, really good for us. Nice. Well, that went okay. The beginning of that was kind of rough, but it was fun towards the end. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. I'm sure that this is probably get flagged for music copyright, but I'll let the VOD upload. Hopefully, some people find this helpful. I just wanted to hop on, run that little quick hour-and-a-half stream. We're going to be streaming for sure on Thursday and Sunday. We got Raid. We're going to be trying to push parses as hard as we can. We're going to be going into BWL with world buffs, full consumes. We're going to be stacked, doing what we can, try and get some #1 parses if we can. Cross our fingers. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Like always, I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.